Mark, very good to see you. Today, we are talking through one of the toughest transitions in retirement, becoming a spender instead of a saver. Only 1/3 of retirees feel comfortable spending their retirement money. Most would rather live off Social Security, pensions, or income from part-time work. So, Mark, you and I have spent hours talking through retirees' biggest fear of outliving their money, but what about the other side of that coin? Don't hoard your money and compromise your quality of life. How do you help people transition from being savers to spenders?
Well, that's a great question, Aaron, and thanks so much for having me here.
Mhm,
It is interesting because our entire lives, I mean, 20, 30, 40 years of our lives has been about accumulating wealth. And then when
mhm,
we retire, now we have to figure out how we're going to spend it. And here's the thing, if we don't spend it, somebody else is going to spend it for us. Maybe it's the government, maybe it's our kids. But I think when I look back, having some behavior modification, and we do have conversations with our clients about how do we position assets, where's the best place to spend it, taxes, those sorts of things. But these are all things that need to take place because of the conditioning that we've been in. And yeah, we don't want to become what we call money hoarders. Obviously, we want to make sure this money lasts throughout our lifetime, but at the same time, yeah, we've got to position everything correctly. And yeah, whether we want to or not, a lot of this money the government is going to force us to take out and ultimately spend or reinvest somewhere else.
mhm.
We want to do it on our terms, not the government's terms.
Right, well said. So, the same study by BlackRock found that a vast majority of retirees still had 80% of their retirement savings 2 decades into retirement, and 1/3 even grew their assets. Do those numbers surprise you?
Yeah, it absolutely does not surprise me at all
Mhm.
because, again, it gets back to people not willing or wanting to spend that money, and it makes perfect sense because, again, you've spent your whole life saving it. I mean, that's what you're conditioned to do.
Yeah.
But now we have to get to the point of, yeah, how do we spend it?
Mhm. And you help people with a very specific action plan to get them more comfortable spending their hard-earned money. And the first part of that plan is to have a spending plan. And again, the same study found that 1/4 of people have no spending plan at all.
Yeah, it is interesting because I don't think any of us enter into retirement and say, I'm planning to fail. As the old saying goes, it's not that we plan to fail, we fail to plan. And
Right.
having a plan creates comfort, and it reduces that overall anxiety. So really, yeah, we walk through a process to help our clients assess what their spending needs are going to be in
Mhm.
retirement to
Mhm.
cover those their basic lifestyle, to maintain your lifestyle. But then it's also how do we go about positioning assets to most effectively utilize what we have saved and what we're going to get as far as like fixed income, social security, pensions, those sorts of things.
Right, exactly. So the second step would be assessing those fixed income sources. And only when you've done one and two can you move on to the third step of your plan here, which is the discrepancy between those two. It's known as the retirement gap. How do you help people bridge that gap?
Well, yeah. So really, with Social Security, it's not as easy as just saying, "Hey, I'm going to look at numbers on a page of what they gave me, and I'm
Right.
going to take my Social Security at 65." It's really assessing taxes. It's assessing what benefits, if we're married, what are we going to give up if we take it too early, like spousal benefits. Because if we take it too early, that's a permanent reduction in those spousal benefits. But you're right. We have to determine what that gap is, and then ultimately, where do we draw the assets from or the income from to really fill in that gap and then ultimately create more net spendable cash flow throughout our lifetime?
Hmm. And having that plan brings the peace of mind, which lets us spend the money and enjoy our retirement like we deserve. So, Mark, if somebody wants to create that plan with you, what's the best way to reach you?
Well, the best way to reach us is they can just call us. Our phone number is 303-681-0113, or you can go to our website, mcgregorwealth.com. There are links in there that you can videos and different things that you can take a look at. But ultimately, you can go ahead and schedule an appointment. We do have a link that goes directly to my calendar. And we'd love to talk to you about it. In addition to that, we do a lot of workshops, educational
Right.
classes on income planning, these types of
Hmm.
things that you can really immerse yourself in and understand, because it's all about creating that peace of mind that you're going to be okay throughout your
Right.
retirement, even if bad things happen.
Right. Well said. All right, Mark, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Aaron, and I appreciate your time.